we were telling you that you see, if you do the X-ray diffraction of any metal, any material, then you will get these peaks. And we have told you earlier that whenever there is constructive interference, the peaks will appear. Wherever there is destructive interference, there will be black light, so the peaks will not be there. So in many places there will be no peak, and then there will be some peaks at certain angles, and this is the 2 theta angle measured by the goniometer of the X-ray diffraction machine. Let us go further now. Now we are trying to find some general rules. Let me remind you that now we are doing it because we know it. The first time people did it, they must have done experiments on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many different materials, and it's a very costly experiment of doing full XRD and taking down and then trying to formulate some laws or some results or some inferences from there. So it may have taken years for them to do what is there on this only one single page. So let us see what they are saying. If your metal is BCC, diffraction occurs only on planes whose Miller indices, when added together, total to an even number. Do you understand? Very simple now. They have found out, a lot of scientists have worked a lot of time for it, but the Miller index, you see, if there is any plane from which you see the light is there and it is reflecting. So if this plane is reflecting, then these are the HKL of the plane, the Miller indices, add them. If the number comes out to be even, then a peak of light, a reflection will be there. If you add the numbers and it is odd, then the reflections will not be there. This is a big decision that they have done and found out for us, right? So again, if the material is a BCC, and in this, if you are looking at any plane, say you are looking at 0, 1, 1 plane, 0, 1, 1 plane. Now, if you add 0 plus 1 plus 1, you get 2, which is an even number. So for a BCC material from 0, 1, 1 plane, light will be reflected and you will see a peak. But if you go to the 1, 1, 1 plane in the BCC, then 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, which is an odd number. So in a BCC material, in a BCC metal, if it is 1, 1, 1 plane, then it will not reflect any light from diffraction. For FCC, the method is different. Look at all the 3 Miller indices, don't add them, just look at them, HKL. If they are all even, if it is 0, 0, 0, if it is 2, 2, 2, then reflection will be there. If they are all odd, if it is 1, 1, 1, then the reflections will be there. But if it is a mix-up, some odd, some even, if all of them are not even, all of them are not odd, then the reflection will not be present. Okay? For BCC, you add the H plus K plus L. For FCC, you do not add, just look at all the 3 numbers. If all the 3 are even or all the 3 are odd, there will be a reflection. And if they are a mix-up, then reflection will not be there. So therefore, if you start from the first plane, then you see for BCC, 1, 1, 0, add them, what do you get? 2. 2, 0, 0, add them, what do you get? 2. 2, 1, 1, add them, what do you get? 4. So these are all even numbers. So for a BCC, from these planes, reflection will be there, peaks will be seen after the XRD experiment. For FCC, 1, 1, 1, all are odd, 2, 0, 0, all are even, 2, 2, 0, all are even. So from these planes, reflections will be there. From the other planes, no peaks will be shown after the XRD experiment. So you see, we are now doing this, we take 5 minutes and we understand it, that what are the rules for BCC, for the light to be seen, what are the rules for FCC for the light to be seen. But as I remind you, it may have taken them months or months of experiments or years of experiments and a lot of understanding of trying to find the reason. So we are now summarizing the same thing in these two tables. The lattice type BCC, FCC, the reflections present, the reflections not present, right? So for a BCC, add H plus K plus L. If it is even, then the reflection will be present. If the sum is odd, the reflection will be absent for a BCC. For FCC, H, K, L, if all of them are odd or all of them are even, reflection will be present. If it is a mixture of odd and even, then reflection will be absent. So based on this, they are making this full table for us. These are the planes. These are the planes. Here they are adding them up. We don't need to add them or whatever. We just need to see them. And here for FCC, BCC, will the planes show something? So 1, 0, 0. If you add them, you get even numbers. So for BCC, there will be no reflection from 1, 0, 0. If you look at them only 1, 0, 0, they are all odd? No. They are all even? No. They are a mixture of odd and even. So for FCC also there will be no reflection. So from the 1, 0, 0 plane, in FCC or in BCC there will be no reflection. 1, 1, 0 plane, add them, you get 2, which is even. So it means from BCC, this plane will be seen. But if you look at all of the three, are all even or all odd? No, they are a mixture. So in FCC, it will not be seen. 1, 1, 1, add them, you get 3, which is odd. So BCC, no reflection. But 1, 1, 1, all three are odd numbers. Therefore, in FCC, there will be a reflection. So you see, you conduct this for FCC and BCC. You add all of the numbers and try to find for BCC. You look at all of the numbers, whether they are odd or even, and you look for FCC. So in the end, you find out this, that if it is BCC, the first reflection will be from 1, 1, 0 plane. The second reflection will be from 2, 0, 0 plane. The third reflection will be from 2, 1, 1 plane, and so on. In FCC, the first reflection will be from 1, 1, 1, the second from 2, 0, 0, and so on. So this is a remarkable thing. This is a remarkable thing. There is no need to memorize this. There is no need to memorize this. If you are actually doing something, then you can always refer to these tables and so on. But for your quizzes and exams, yes, right? Quizzes and exams, yes. You should know that if you arrange the planes, then 1, 0, 0 is the first one, right? X, Y, Z, or I, J, K, or H, K, L. So 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. These are in order. Then 2, 0, 0, 2, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1 in order. So if you remember this order, and you can very easily, then you can immediately decide whether it will be there in FCC or BCC by adding them or looking all of them odd or even, right? And the most important thing that we have to remember, which you should remember, that from BCC, the first visible plane after XRD is 1, 1, 0. And from FCC, the first is 1, 1, 1. This much is generally enough, the first one. The second and the third we will see, will work on. Okay. So this is it, the rules, and based on these rules, which of the planes will reflect and be seen in an XRD experiment and which planes will not be seen. The XRD experiment is done, and now from the available data, you do interpretation of the data. What do you interpret? What do you find out from the data that has come from the XRD experiment? Now, these two equations are now the only two equations. DHKL is equal to A upon under root H squared plus K squared plus L squared. This is the interplanar spacing. This is the lattice constant. This was the first equation. And the Bragg's equation from the XRD experiment, n lambda is equal to 2d HKL sine theta, right? N is equal to 1, so n can be removed, where lambda is the wavelength of the X-ray that you are using in the XRD experiment. Theta is the angle of reflection, right, on which you see the visible light. Otherwise, there is a dark band. And of course, in the machine, the angle is 2 theta. Here it is half of that. So these are the two basic equations. One is coming from the interplanar spacing long time ago, and the other is coming from the Bragg's equation. To go any further, we just combine these equations. For example, lambda is equal to 2 DHKL. So for DHKL, put this equation here. If you do that, then you get this equation. Lambda is equal to 2, and for DHKL, A upon root. So you get this equation, right? Lambda is equal to 2A sine theta upon root of HS squared plus K squared plus L squared. If in this equation, I move this on the other side, right, and take this on the other side, sine theta will be left on one side, right? So I can write sine theta is equal to something, and if I want to remove this square root, then I square it. So sine square theta is lambda squared into HS squared plus K squared plus L squared upon 4A squared. So this is one of the equations. Or if you just want to find the lattice constant from here, keep A from here, send all the other things to the other side, right? A here, this goes there, that comes down. So A is equal to lambda upon 2 sine theta root HS squared plus K squared plus L squared. So combining these two equations after the XRD experiment, you can use the equation for the angle theta, you can use the equation for this. So this is now brilliant. Remember, in the beginning, we were finding A for BCC, for FCC from the mathematical equation. A is equal to 4R upon root 3 and so on. At that time, we told you that later on we will describe experimental work at microscopic level where we can experimentally find the lattice constant. So now just see, you see you are doing the XRD experiment. Lambda is the wavelength of the X-ray that you set on the machine. So before the experiment starts, you already know the value of lambda. Once the experiment is completed, there are peaks, 1 peak, 2 peak, 3 peaks. There are peaks. One peak is coming from 111 plane, the other is coming from 222 plane and so on. So you know these values. If it is 111 plane, then it is 1 square, 1 square, 1 square. So you know from the peaks which plane it is. And from the goniometer on the XRD, you have the 2 theta. So you know the 2 theta from there also, right? So this equation then will give you experimentally the value of the lattice constant. So these things is that we are saying if we have experimental X-ray diffraction data for a series of diffracting planes and so on. So what they are saying is we had sine squared theta, right? So if suppose first plane is plane A, so in the sine squared theta equation, for HKL, you write the values of HKL for plane A. The second reflection in the plane, is suppose from plane B. So now HKL is for plane B. The other things are the same. It is the same material and it is the same X-ray. So the lambda is the same. It is the same X-ray that we are using, and we are using samples of the same material. So A will be the same. So sine squared theta from plane A will be this much. Sine squared theta from plane B will be this much. The only thing different is the HKL for plane A and plane B. Now if you divide this by this, lambda squared and 4A squared cancel out because they are the same. So you get this only. HS squared, K squared, L squared, they are sum for plane A and for plane B. Do you understand? So this is a very important relationship for us, that you have two planes, the first plane and the second plane. The angles theta from the first plane and theta from the second plane are shown by the goniometer reading. So now you know these values, and you know the first plane if it was BCC, the second plane if it was BCC, you know that it was the 011 plane or the 101 plane and so on. So you can find this value. You can find this value.